got Steven Seiler back here on the program. He's going to be making his return for PFL on May 23rd. Steven, how are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. I appreciate you asking. Not everyone asks how I'm doing, so I like that. But you've had a busy, you had a busy 2018 season one of PFL. Looking back on that whole experience, how was it for you? Did you enjoy fighting that often, or what was sort of your takeaways from season one?
I loved it. It was definitely the best year of my career, fight-wise. Best organization I've been with. Never been treated so well. I loved how often I was able to fight. I love knowing my schedule when I'm fighting. Like other companies, it's so unpredictable. Unpredictable. You don't know what days you're fighting or who you're fighting or what. We know, hey, these are your dates you're fighting. This one you have to get ready. I loved it. It was amazing.
Was it much of an adjustment, like making sure you didn't get burnt out because you were fighting so often, or I guess it sounded like you adjusted quite well to it.
No, because training you get burnt out a little bit. Fighting you never get burnt out. That's just in my blood. I love it. Just being fight week, getting to the hotel, being just being around everybody. That's just the best environment in the world.
Yeah, and do you feel like it's an advantage going into this season with the fact that you already went through a full season with PFL? Fighting as often as you can. Do you feel like that experience will actually help you this time around?
I think there's a lot of veterans there already, especially even the new guys are kind of veterans already. So I don't think it's gonna be any more different for me than it would be for them.
Fair enough. Let's talk about the last fight. You nearly were a millionaire, man. You fought Lance Palmer in the finals. I know things didn't go your way in that matchup, but what did you take away from that performance that you can bring into this season?
It was a good fight. I mean, he's tough as nails. I knew that already. Um, but yeah, there's nothing really different. I mean, I expect everyone to be just as good as Lance. So I don't think I really take anything from that fight that I could take from any other fight. Like overall, this was just a great season. Win or lose, the fights were all amazing for me.
And one thing I wanted to ask you, and I haven't asked you this before, but I know Ali manages a lot of fighters, and in the tournament or in the season, I should say, and including yourself. What's that conversation like when you guys are fighting? Because that's happened to you a couple times where you're fighting guys that are under the same management. What's that conversation like?
And it's only happened with me and Alexander, and then me and Lance for myself. But he's very unbiased. He's just like, hey, anything you need, I'm here for you. But I'm not gonna. He's like, I have to stay in the middle. So he's very straightforward, but anything I ever needs, he's there for me. So I mean, and obviously, I feel like he's the greatest manager in the game. He takes care of us. I'm always, if there's anything needed fight week, it's taken care of by him and his team.
Yeah. And the great thing too is like you haven't fought since that fight, right? And you've got this fight coming up here in May. You haven't fought since December. I know he's probably checking up on you like every week, which is, you don't think of that from a manager. Usually it's when you have a fight coming up, but he's always checking in all the time.
No, he's always calling. He's always checking up on the family, seeing how everyone's doing. I mean, he actually legitimately seems concerned about not just my fighting and all that kind of stuff, but just my life in general, and make sure everything's taken care of.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear, man. Let's talk about your opponent here. I'm going to attempt to pronounce his name here. Gadzi Rabadinov. He's got a 9-3-2 record. He's got some experience here, but nothing compared to the experience you're bringing in this fight. You've got way more fights. How do you feel like in matchup against him? What do you know about him?
Honestly, nothing. I literally found out.
I like the honesty.
I think I found out less than a week ago who I'm fighting. I was actually expecting someone else the whole time, and then they kind of Ali called me. He's like, "Hey, this is gonna happen. This is what's going on." So I haven't known for too long, and even when they told me, it wasn't a for sure thing. I didn't even know till I think I logged on to one of the websites and they had my name matched up again. I go, "Oh, it looks like it went happen. It came through." So I haven't looked him up. We haven't really cared because we had another name mixed in, and but I think coach is going to start looking into it. I already had one breakdown of the guy, and maybe I'll start watching him when I'm bored down here in Colorado.
Right. Yeah, I was going to ask you about training camp because I know you split time between going in Utah and then Factory X in Colorado. How has this camp been structured? Because I imagine you knew you were going to be on this card, so at least you had an idea of where to train and everything.
Yeah, I mean, I came out here in March, started getting ready. So I've been out here for a little while now, and I've been staying ready. It's been a great camp. We've had a lot of people fight, especially recently. I think we had 9 guys fight last weekend just from our team, and many more to come even before I'm fighting. So a lot of guys getting ready for fights, helping me stay in shape, and just working with a bunch of different people.
Yeah, and that's the one thing with Factory X these days, especially. There's so many fighters coming through, so many new bodies and stuff. Who are you training with more than others down there? Because there's a lot of really good fighters in the lighter weight classes.
I've been working with quite a bit, basically everybody. Grapple with like Brandon, Royval, Devontae, Jordan Totoni, Brian Mitchell's fighting this weekend. I mean, there's so many guys. Literally everyone, especially like 155 and down. I've been working with everybody.
Yeah, what's it like getting to train with Devontae? He's quite the character, like very competitive in the room, but then you guys, I hear he's like quite the prankster outside of it too.
You know what? I don't think I've met a person that asks more questions than Devontae. And it's awesome because he's so young. He's just so wanting to learn and get better. And I don't think there's a person more motivated to get better, to get to the top than Devontae.
No, and that's a luxury too. Is that he's getting better. You guys are all getting better at the same time, which is it's nice to have those different looks. Now the weight cut. When does that process start for you? Is that already starting, like as far as dieting and all that, or will that happen closer to fight time?
No, I've been dieting since I got down here.
Okay,
Definitely
gotcha.
got definitely a little bit bigger than I wanted to before I came out here. Me and the family went on a cruise. After the New Year's, it's our first time being able to have time off in a while. So, we took advantage of it, took a couple of vacations. Cruise was all you could eat food and wasn't training and just spent all the time in the world with the family. Came out here and got a lot of comments about how fat I got.
I gotcha. So you'd be fighting in the welterweight division if you had to step off, the cruise and go right and fight.
I wouldn't make that, no.
No, that's hilarious. That's crazy. So how do you is that difficult to go from that to dieting, or is that something you're so used to in fight camp? It's just like, okay, today I'm going to start eating clean. Is it a tough process for you?
Obviously, it sucks, but especially out here in Colorado, because out here in Colorado, I'm away from the wife and kids. And at that time, Court McGee was out here, and Court is very strict. And so basically, we live together while we're out here. And if there's anything that I want to eat that's not healthy, he's not going to tell me not to do it, but he'll give me the like, hey, that's the thing you should be eating right now. And so basically, when we grocery shop, we just get all healthy stuff, and he's on top of me.
Okay, well, that's good. So like a support system. I guess he's not there now because he just fought recently, right?
No, he left a week before his fight, and I've been out here basically alone. My wife came out for a week after that, but I've been out here alone ever since.
Okay, gotcha. Who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Obviously Mark Montoya is going to be out there. I think Court's going to be out there because Ramsey fights on the same card, and he's going to go corner Ramsey. So I think I'll have Mark and Court, and then possibly Yusuf. It's up in the air with that kid. So we'll see if he comes out to New York or not, but for sure Mark and Court.
Now, this is the part where in the interview I usually ask how you think the fight's going to play out, but I mean submissions. That's your thing, man. I mean we've seen that so many times. I mean I guess it's safe to say that's probably what you're aiming for in this one, especially since you don't know much about your opponent.
Yeah, obviously I just want to finish. I don't care how I get the finish. Knockouts are cool. I enjoy them. They don't come very often for me though. So if it's a finish, that's all I'll be happy with.
Have you had a chance to take a look at the roster for this season? Some of the new faces that have come in. Do you keep an eye on that stuff?
I mean, I know who they are, a lot of them. But I've known for a while actually. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Because I guess you sort of have an inside, look into that. Who do you think could be an interesting challenge for you down the line? Maybe someone that you're looking at, like, man, that might be a tough fight. Is there anyone like that, or is there anyone you want to fight? Is there like how do you sort of assess the roster?
No, seriously, everyone on this roster. I think this year is way more stacked than last year. So I just figured it's going to be a challenging year, and whoever makes it through, that just shows. That's just how good they really are.
What are you doing for downtime in Colorado? You mentioned you're by yourself. You watching any Netflix or playing any video games, anything like that?
Well, I still have a day job. So when I do my day job, I play PlayStation nonstop. I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K the last couple months. And then other than that, I love sleeping. I'm very good at it.
That's me too. Naps are like, I'm probably going for a nap later today. Believe it or not, it's gonna be great. So we can relate to that. NBA 2K. I imagine Utah Jazz. Is that your team?
No, I'm a Laker fan. I'm from California.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I just figured, maybe since you live there. So the Lakers, even with LeBron, or is it updated rosters? Because I was going to say the Lakers this year are not so good, right?
No, they suck. But I mean, I'll get the newer game version. But I've just been doing a lot of different things, player mode. I've been just switching it up quite a bit, and actually this week I started to get into MLB The Show too. Now that baseball started, so
Okay, so same thing, or what? Angels, Dodgers. Who's your team?
Angels.
Angels. Okay, fair enough. Got to get that clarified. You mentioned the day job. Now, is this in Colorado, or do you work back home in Utah and then make money and then come out? How does that work?
It's a work from home,
Oh, cool.
and
Okay.
yeah, so we're able to do it just from home. But my company's been they work with me so well. It's awesome actually that they gave me an extra computer and everything else. I have one set up at home still, and then I brought one out here for me that I leave out here, so I just go back and forth off to bring everything. And yeah, they work with my schedule, man. They let me take weeks. 2-3 weeks off at a time going for my fight. My boss even came out and watched the New Year's fight when I fought Lance. They're just very supportive, and yeah, I love it. Like they work with my schedule so because I'm very difficult. I feel like a prima donna, asking for time off all the time. Whether I want to get a one-on-one with Mark, like, hey, boss, I need to get off 2 hours early today. Is that cool? And they work with me so well.
Yeah, I guess as long as you get the work done. What is it you actually do for work though? Like what type of remote work are you doing?
I just get people set up with credit repair.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's good. Kind of two
Yeah.
different lives. You're like a Clark Kent over here.
Well, my wife actually, when I was an Ultimate Fighter, she was a teacher and but like an intern teacher where they don't get paid for the summer. So she needed to get a job, and her roommate at the time worked for the company, and now she's been there almost 9 years. And then once I got cut from the UFC, I kind of realized it wouldn't hurt to have a job to, bring consistent income in. She got me right on, and ever since then, they've treated me like family. It's been amazing.
That's great, man. Well, we're looking forward to your return, Steven. Can't wait. May 23rd, PFL 2. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours, man.
No, I mean, the best place to always find me is probably Twitter at Steve Seiler. Um, but yeah, I'm not even bringing in sponsors for this fight. This time I'm just going in, focus on the fighting, and make sure this is just great as year as it was last year.